Welcome YouTube to another video of the Turbo Ranger here at Shane's Garage. Alright, so here's the accomplishments. Alright, here we go. We rerouted the system. So intake travels into the blower, and then it heads back out under this intake tube, comes back out, comes around, and down through, out to the intercooler, around, back in through the core, and then it comes in. Right here is the blow-off valve. Note that the blow-off valve is before the mass air housing. This one right here, he's just a dummy sensor. But this one up here has an actual harness hanging off of it. You see? So that one is the active sensor. That's just hollowed out. They're bolted together to create an airtight seal. That's how we made that work. But blow-off valve before the mass air sensor. And then we're traveling up. And here is the wastegate controller. Goes over to the gate, which is hiding under here. And then it goes up and over to the firewall. And there is a controller over here on the firewall. And then we come back all the way up and into the intake. The new design allows the hood to shut. Fuel pressure got a couple modifications to it. Nothing major though. The fitting had to be turned. Can you see it? Not really. Yeah, there it is. The fitting had to be turned a little more to get sealed up. It was generating a small fuel leak. And we took care of that. Shit, that's about it right now. I mean, it's built. We got parts coming piece by piece. At some point, we're going to have to tear this engine all the way out. And we have hyper-eutectic pistons coming for it, so that we don't shatter pistons so quickly. We were going to go forged, but I think I want to go with the hyper-eutectic for the sense that I can hopefully save the block a few times. I know I'm going to blow it, but a cast piston is going to destroy a cylinder wall, in my eyes, a little quicker than a HP piston. I'm hoping that the guts will break and it'll end up going through the oil pan, if anything. At least that's what I'm banking on. Forged pistons are also on a year back order. So if you guys are building these engines, forged pistons are on a year back order. You have to go with the hyper-eutectic or get something custom fit, which is tough as hell for some reason. I don't know what they did with the bore on a 2.3, but it's got its own size piston. There's nothing special that fits in there. You can't use Duratec pistons, and you can't use EcoBoost pistons. You have to have early 79 to 97 pistons only. What a challenge. We got new timing components coming, but nothing's been done yet. If you can look in there, there's still just a good old wiped out timing belt. That's on a future video. But yeah, parts are coming in. Here's what we got. We got a Cloy's timing kit, and it's got a new belt and tensioner, Kevlar belt. And, is it a springy tensioner? I don't know. I suppose it's not a springy tensioner, but it's probably got a spring that hooks to it. You don't want to push on those. You want to let the engine do its own thing and set its own tension. You don't want to push on that. You just want to let the spring hold its own tension. It may feel loose to you, but tight enough is tight enough. Too tight's broken, right? Let him do his own job. Alright, now, this is hopefully why we can't pull third gear out of this truck. come into this here. Here we go. Now, this is a Walbro GSS 350. Now, it's a fuel delivery pump. This thing goes actually inside the fuel tank. But if you look here, let's see if I can get this cap off. There we go. Look at the size of the inlet on this pump. That is almost a 1/2 inch inlet. All right. Most regular pumps, you're talking a little line about that size right there. But on this one, it actually has a humongous inlet. So I'm pretty confident this thing's gonna push a lot more fuel than the one that's in it. Everyone recommends the Walbro GSS 340, so that's what we got. And the whole high flow kit that comes with it, all the goodies. We did put a turbo timer in the thing. We had it. We didn't really spend money on this. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. And there's the timer. Actually showing system voltage. You bring it down. Shut your key off. And the timer actually waits until, gives the engine 30 seconds to run at idle. I don't know. It's basically a farce. I like it because it has a cool voltage gauge in it. Besides that, you don't have to put them in. Honestly, it does nothing. It's a relay box that times your ignition. So just don't shut your car off for like 60 seconds and your turbo will be fine. It only pertains to turbochargers like this one. So if you look at this, see that? There's no water. It's just an oil-cooled turbo or lubricated turbo. The thing with the water pipes is when you plumb coolant to a turbo is, even though you shut the engine off, antifreeze convects. So once the motor's shut off, there's still some type of convection going on. And when that happens, there's actually coolant still moving through the turbocharger. So I guess if you want to consider it a rule of thumb is you got an oil-cooled turbo, put a timer in. If your turbocharger has antifreeze lines, you don't really have to worry about it. That's not going to be your culprit. But we did it because we're oil-cooled. We don't have expensive money to spend on super awesome turbos right now. But this one's awesome enough, believe me. Yeah, that's about it. There's nothing else. No suspension mods or nothing. We're just trying to get it up and going. I seem to have had a good pull in first and second gear, and it falls on its face in third. Oh, we made a small improvement from that to decipher whether it was fuel or air that was causing the problem. I actually have put, can you see it? They're gray. I put Ford Flex Fuel 21-pound injectors in it. That did increase my range, but it's definitely still not enough fuel. At least I'm hoping that's what it is. It's either that or there is a possibility, being a 97, that it has a knock sensor. If this engine is equipped with a knock sensor and I'm revving the balls out of it and it's pinging, it'll shut your ignition off on you. So, one thing at a time. I haven't really covered ignition yet because, well, frankly, I don't know how to do it on a Ford here. I've done more imports than Fords. Supposedly, it's integrated into the ECM, but we need to find out in the future here what exactly runs it. But yeah, number one, got to get the fuel up and a little more fuel, a lot more fuel. 60-pound injectors. We're running 21s right now, and they're not doing shit. That's it. That's it for Shane's Garage for today. But well, it's been a while. I don't give up. You just didn't get a video lately. Alrighty. You guys have a great day. Take it easy.